Hey you guys, welcome back to the Mouthpiece Podcast. My name is Bonga and I am your host. Happy Wednesday, guys. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are enjoying your week so far. I am, from my mouth to God's ears, it is Sunday, so I don't actually know if I'm going to be enjoying next week, but by the grace of God, by Wednesday I will be having an amazing week. Anyway, today we're going to speak about love. We're going to speak about love, particularly romantic love, because I think that there is, I want to say it's a misconception, but I also just want to say, I want to coin it as like a mixing, because I feel like Christians do know what love is, but there's also a mixing of cultural ideas, and cultural being like the culture of the world, not necessarily your culture as in I am Tsonga, so my culture believes love is like this. No, I'm talking about the worldly culture around the concept of love. And so I just want to speak about that. And obviously the scripture that we're going to be reading from today is 1 Corinthians 13. 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 4 says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." Let me preface this episode by saying this. I think when it comes to love, particularly romantic love, there are so many ideas that have infiltrated into what we know today as the dating culture, as what marriage should be, what are the prerequisites. I almost bit my tongue. But the prerequisites of a godly romantic relationship, what it must be, what it must look like, right? And my desire is that we one day get to a point where we observe the Lord's design without compromise. I hate compromise. I hate compromise. I hate the concept of compromise. Though I am a compromiser myself, I hate the concept because there is a foundational truth, right? So when we start steering and trying to fit into cultural norms and things that we have decided for ourselves, okay, this makes sense, I'm going to take it in, and we don't consult the Bible for what is actually true, we become regular compromisers. We become easy compromisers. It becomes easy to say, oh yeah, I hear what you're saying, I feel you, without checking what the Lord, especially as a Christian, would say about this particular topic. Now, this is not to say that every single nuance is addressed in the Bible, but the Bible is a foundation and a lens through which these nuances need to be addressed. No matter the context, there is a foundation. So I have been, for the past months, so many months, been breaking down in my mind what love actually is and what it's not. And today I want to address more so what it's not. And the first thing, maybe the only thing that we'll expand on, is that love is not a feeling, right? There are specific feelings that are associated with loving someone. Now, again, I'm particularly speaking about the romantic context, right? This also applies for friendships, but I am specifically, again, speaking to the context of romantic relationships. Love in and of itself is not associated with the feeling that you have, right, towards a person. I think we have to isolate the two. You don't love someone because you feel this way about them. Or you can't say that, no, I know I love them because of how I feel about them. Love is the action behind the concept. The feeling is just the feeling. I feel very fondly of this person, but to say I love someone means you are kind to them, you are patient with them, you suffer along with them, you never give up, you always trust, you always persevere, you always. So if we're saying we love somebody and it's solely based off of the feeling that we have when it's with them, or when we're with them rather, we don't really love the person. Maybe we just like the person. And that's why I feel like it's important for us to separate the two and not to so much associate or mix the feeling associated with romance to the concept of love holistically. Because what tends to happen is that when that feeling fizzles out, on a certain day when you wake up and your partner says some rubbish that you're like, oh my gosh, why would you say this to me? Like, are you like, what's wrong with you? Or they annoy you or whatever. What then is your response? And if you are not feeling it in your heart, that moment that, oh wow, I really like this person, when there's no lovey-dovey feeling, and then you decide thereafter that I don't want to deal with this person actually anymore. I'm not really in the mood. Do you really love them? And I think we've become very frivolous with people's hearts because of the fact that we have trusted our hearts. Our hearts are deceitful. The book of Jeremiah speaks about this. The heart is deceitful above all things. Above all things. So if it is so deceitful and our feelings are like such a hard feeling, like, oh my gosh, like, I love this person. I love them. I love just how they speak. I love this. I love that. And then they irritate you. In that moment, what action do you choose in response to that? And that is where love is proved. Love cannot be proved in contexts that are comfortable, right? There is no proof of how much you love a person when they are doing everything that keeps to your conditions, because the whole concept of love, as described in 1 Corinthians 13, is a very unconditional thing, right? And we have to allow ourselves to exist in uncomfortable contexts with another human being for us to know whether we actually love this person or not, because that is the only time where your conditions for loving a person are broken. And when they are broken, what do you decide to do in the moment? What do you decide to do in the moment where you see that, okay, I don't like this behavior, but what am I going to choose right now? Am I going to choose to say, okay, you are booted out immediately? I am not speaking about abuse. I am not speaking about being treated badly. If you're being treated badly, boot them out right now. Yeah, but I think, again, our ability to actually love according to 1 Corinthians 13 is tested and is proved and is shown when they do something that would warrant that you're not so kind in response, that you're not so patient in response, that you're not so, or that you don't have perseverance in response, or that you don't give up in response, until those little things are tested, where you are not selfish, you are not petty, you are not, until those things are tested, you won't actually know whether or not you love a person. And I think that is the beauty of romantic love, because because of its formation of intimacy, the context in which it exists, like the intimacy that it exists in, brings out rubbish that a lot of other relational contexts cannot bring out, right? So maybe with a friend, it's not really going to come out how you exist in a romantic context. With a colleague, it's not really going to come out. With a family member, it's not really going to come out. But with another partner, where you are, or with a counterpart, a male counterpart, for me as a woman, or a female counterpart for a man, right? You are going so deep in intimacy, and because of the differences in worldviews, there are certain things that you will probably grapple with along the way. And what again is your response when something happens, you see something, you hear something, you don't like something? Because the reality is, no matter how much you search high and low for the perfect partner for you, there is a perfect partner for you, and that perfection doesn't exist in the context of no mistakes, right? That perfect partner does not exist when we think about the humanness of a person, but the perfection, like the best fit, the context of a best fit, the context of a perfect partner, as I see it, is a partner that is able to resolve with you, to conflict with you, but without being toxic, right? To get through things, to work through certain differences, because we all come with baggage. We all come with baggage, and we all enter relation. No matter how much work you can do, there's always baggage. And this is also not me saying that you should stop working on yourself and stop allowing the Lord to work on the little toxic behaviors that you have in your heart, because everybody comes with baggage, so it's fine if I come with this baggage. If you are aware of something, work on it and keep asking the Lord to work on your heart. I am such an advocate for presenting yourself to the Lord and asking him, like, please do a work in me, because I think that's where the context of a perfect partner exists. The perfect partner is the person who is willing and able to have conversations with you, to understand you, to hear what you're also not saying, and all those great things, right? The perfect partner is not just superficially perfect. My desire, as I always express in every single episode, is that we get to a place where we are undoing certain norms that we have picked up, because this whole idea that love is a feeling and I need to feel something to be able to love someone is crazy work. It is crazy work. Like, yes, you're going to feel something for the person that you end up with, right? And I would hope so. But that feeling is not love. It's not something that's associated with love. It's just associated with your, just your romantic hormonal responses to having a romantic partner. Love is action and love is choice. In moments where your ability to be all these things in 1 Corinthians 13 is tested, that's when you know, that's when you can see if a person actually loves you or not if they feel something for you. If they feel something for you, that's also great, but that feeling can't be the driver of your decision to say, or of your knowledge of someone's love for you, because that feeling can exist for anybody. Feelings can exist for anybody, but a choice to love can only exist for few, because a lot of us have very little capacity for what love actually is, for the choice that love actually is, for the work that love actually is, for the action that love actually is. And so if we are looking at the feeling, we open ourselves up to having capacity for more than or more people that we'll be able to handle, I guess. But when we look at it from the choice and the work perspective, it gets narrowed down to the singular person that you end up with as your spouse. And this is also not me saying that if you're choosing someone, it's better that you don't feel anything for them. I'm not saying that. Please do not hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that, because I think the feeling behind a romantic relationship is so beautiful, and it's so fun, and it's so bright, and it just gives life to the heart, you know what I mean? But it shouldn't be the driver. Like, take your feelings out of the driver's seat, because you will crash at some point, because your feelings are steering the wheel at the same time they are looking this way, at the same time they are trying to hit the brake and the clutch and the accelerator all at the same time they are, ignoring the stop signs, at the same time they are, you know what I mean? Like, have a stable foundation for how you experience love with another person, and it becomes so much easier to make the conscious decision to say, I will remain here, I will choose this person. But again, toxic people, that's not what I'm talking about. Abusive people, that's not what I'm talking about. People who make you question yourself, that's not what I'm talking about. People who make you compromise on your values, your morals, that's not what I'm talking about. People who make you live out of purpose, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not who I'm talking about. If you are married, this part I am not talking to you, because I can't speak to that. But if you're not married, you're still in courtship, and you're still thinking, okay, like, can I spend the rest of my life with someone? Those categories of people that I just mentioned, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people who reciprocate and are emotionally in tune with you, emotionally available for you. They love you just as much as you love them. They choose you as much as you choose them, etc., etc. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Love is a choice, and I know we hear this all the time, but it is, and it is the truth. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you guys on Friday, and I love you guys. Haha, no pun intended. Is that a pun? I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye.